Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to the show. We are live. Everything is switched on. I'm David Starlight, and welcome to my weekly show of intuitive predictions, ascension codes, and live readings. During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me to earn money. So I'm over here along the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. So I'm just busy with my website, taking out some ascension code cards, these oracle cards. This is the Starseed Oracle right there, like a pyramid, beautiful cards. And where was the other deck? Here, Energy Oracle cards. Marianne says, good morning. Welcome to the show, Marianne, and great to see you here. We are live from Australia, and a good morning to you, Marianne. So I'm just checking the color banners. Let me see. Usually we have a bit of a banner going. Let me see. There's the banner. Beautiful. How are you? How are you, Marianne? Classic. Oh, that's a different. It's a different color. Oh, there we go. No, it's changing. I'm just changing the banner color. So that's what I'm doing. Good morning, Marianne. It's still freezing in New York City, and for one more week. So you're definitely affected by the cold. How are you keeping warm, Marianne? And how is it all going? That's been a very cold winter, right? So we're having cold weather. It's been a bit of a strange year with the economy, with the general energy, but hold fast, everyone. Keep going, keep manifesting. Okay, so I've changed the color. Maybe it's a little bit better. I'm just going to pull myself up slightly. That's better. So Marianne, how are you keeping warm? Let's begin, as always, just with a deep breath, coming into our center and relaxing our body, our physical vessel, and all our energy centers, clearing them, aligning them, opening them up, closing them. We don't want to be too open in this world. We want to have some middle ground between being open and being closed. And that's how we balance ourselves, center ourselves in the world. Our lives are a dance. Everything is a dance. And Marianne says a space heater on top of the provided heat and hot beverages. You need a hot water bottle, Marianne. A space heater on top of the provided heat. That's awesome. So we are live, coming to you from Australia. Let me know in the comments section if you have any questions about the Ascension codes, about the New Earth, live prediction questions, and wisdom, peace, love, happiness. So remember, balancing out all the energies like this beautiful Tai Chi dance, weaving ourselves into the world. The painting behind you is one of my original paintings. I am going to be putting up a new website which will have some of my paintings up. So if anyone is interested, they'll be up there on the new website. So let me know in the comment section. Please do like and share the show if you do like the content, if you do support the content. We're going to pick a card for the week, for the new earth, for the energy of the planet, connecting to all the energy grids, clearing all the energy, and north, south, east, west, switching on all the energy grids. And now we are going to ground ourselves back into Mother Gaia, remembering our connection to Mother Earth. And she is alive, tuning into energy, and we are picking a card here. And the card is reminding us to enjoy the present moment, to appreciate the good things. Life can seem so serious, so heavy. I was talking to someone last night who couldn't sleep. She could not sleep, and I was kind of like, she mentioned 15 years, and I was feeling really empathetic, or really kind of sad that she could have a 15-year struggle. That's a long time to be struggling to sleep. We were talking last night, and I was realizing a lot of people have struggles with sleep, and it's really, really common. So the important thing is to not take anything too seriously, not take ourselves too seriously, not take life too seriously, to bring ourselves into the present moment. And like this card indicates, surrender to the sweetness, the pleasure, the joy, the spontaneity, the uncertainty, the surprise, the adventure, the creativity. Noah Clark, I don't know what that says, Clockery, Noah. So welcome to the show, Noah. And great to see everyone new and old. The earth is pulsing. The earth is pulsing. So let's connect to this vast energetic wave. Most folks don't do sleep hygiene practices. Well, that's a really good topic, Marianne. Let's explore that further, because I know some people have television, TV, or Netflix or whatever in their room now. I don't like that kind of thing. The flickering light, it definitely affects our sleep. It's best to have no light, darkness. The more darkness you can have is going to help the most. Darkness and silence, that's going to help us sleep. Safety, of course, is a really big thing. So our physical safety needs to be set in place. If we feel unsafe, then we're going to be on edge. We're not going to be able to sleep deeply. And the one and only Nicole, have you ever considered a nose job? No, I never have, Nicole. And what that's hilarious. We're talking about sleep. So, sleep hygiene. What a great topic, and really pivotal for our lifelong health and well-being. Really, if we're not sleeping well, that's going to affect everything. So it's helpful, early nights, avoiding alcohol. Just gonna remove the all right. So maintaining a consistent schedule. If you go to bed at a consistent time, it really does help. It's important to kind of wind down gradually. That helps. So slow down, turn off the phone, definitely limit food and drinks. So I find I sleep best, for instance, if I eat, don't eat after about 5-6 p.m. So I also suggest that the earlier you can eat, your body will just go into rest and digest, and it stimulates better sleep. Marianne says rule one. Rule one, I think that says 3 hours before, no food. 2 hours, no liquids. 1 hour, no screens. Rule two, consistency of bedtime and wake up time. Yeah, these are really good measures, really good rules or strategies, Marianne. Thank you for sharing. So, definitely the food thing, you just get heavy. It creates this heaviness and it affects sleep. So the sooner you can eat, if 5 p.m., whatever it is, that's going to help. Liquids, just generally start to slow down your liquid intake from the afternoon. A little bit is okay, but it's just you are gonna have to take bathroom breaks or wake up to go to the toilet with liquids. So definitely wind them down the last kind of 4 or 5 hours of the afternoon, evening. No screens. Yeah, absolutely. So all of that is really helpful, Marianne. Is there anything else to help? Because there are, it is often stress that creates insomnia, stress that creates people struggling with sleep. It's stress. But I do think consistency and early nights and getting into a good schedule really help. And help. These are lifelong habits, so it will help everyone. So thank you, Marianne. I'm going to go back to the New Earth Ascension codes. We were talking about the collective energy, the need to enjoy the sweet things. Just going to explore what this card means a little bit further. So that means enjoy the moment. We all have this short moment on the earth to express ourselves, to dance, to enjoy the pleasures of life. And this is very much awakening to I would say more of essential energy, to let us see life as a glass half full, not a glass half empty. The feminine goddess is also coming through with this card. So that's the weekly reading, reminding us to connect to fun, to playtime, saying don't work all the time, remember to play, to shift out of survival mode and more into sweetness. It doesn't mean you're just going to be lazy. It's more about enjoying the physical pleasures of the earthly plane. So the next card I picked is about big picture thinking, visionary ideas. So it's kind of indicating to take a step back and really look from a distance, see the bigger picture, see the planetary realm, see the Earth from a distance. Imagine traveling vast distances into space. Imagine looking from the moon at the Earth. Now, we do have pictures from NASA, but so look at those pictures and think, well, how would it be to be out in space and to see a little round blue ball in the distance? How would that be? I love to look at NASA pictures because it's so inspiring, and the edge of technology pushing human beings into space. I'm not sure how you feel about space travel, space age. There are a few companies pushing the boundaries, people talking about going to Mars, people talking about going to the moon. I think there is a moon mission planned, which is really a breakthrough for humanity, because it's been a long time since the 1960s. A lot has happened. So bringing this card is about generating ideas for the future, birthing a new age, dreaming a new world into being. The future will be woven by the dream makers. So it's inspiring people to have dreams, have the courage to envision a new way of being, a new Earth, a new planetary system of more serenity, more joy, more fun, more collaboration, compassion for all human beings, and compassion for every being, not just human beings, all beings, all conscious beings, all animals, and bringing this energy, raising the vibration, bringing this into the now, into the present moment. So that is the card. So sleep hygiene, really important. We were talking about that. I'm going to pick from the Buddhism Oracle deck now, just for a general collective reading. What's happened? It's 4th of February here in Australia. Some of you will be on the 3rd of February. So the month is already moving along. I can't believe it's the 4th of February. So January is done and dusted. We're into February. We're really moving into 2026, things are shifting, colliding, expanding. It's all happening cosmically and energetically. So we are going to pick from the beautiful Buddhism Oracle deck, and that card is pure thought, pure awareness. Reminding us that we're shaped by our thoughts and what we think we become, The more we think about good things, joy, peace, harmony, the more we can manifest that in our physical world and influence the world around us. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. So look deep into your heart and question the motivation of your thoughts as well as their truthfulness. Do they lead to happiness? When you can remove your own personal fantasy stories from your thoughts, you'll be able to embrace reality simply as it is and understand that there is a divine purpose to everything that happens to us. It's not happening to us, it's happening for us. So we are here to grow, and it's not always so plain sailing. It's not always so easy to grow. And Noah just said hi. Hi, Noah. How are you? Where are you in the world? And welcome to the show. New and all, please do like and share the show if you get anything from it. If you have questions and would like me to discuss anything, intuitive reading requests, please do write in the comments, like and share the show, and we are moving along to the next reading, asking the question, what practically do I need to consider in my life right now? What practically speaking do I need to consider in my life right now? And the card is, it's saying forge, don't follow. So forge is about paving a new path, creating a new way of being. Be the leader. Don't wait for the leader to come to you. It's saying move towards the goal, move towards the vision. So that's a very powerful card, encouraging us to take out the vision board, take out the vision, and create the world that we wish to inhabit, the life that we wish to be living, and step forward into that life, not waiting for something to be given to us, not waiting for it to be gifted to us. It's less about surrender and more about taking action, or being bold with our visions. Kimmy Berg, Paula. Kimmy, welcome to the show. And how are you today? So we have Kimmy, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. That looks really sweet. There's a real sweetness, which was what that card was about the new earth energies coming through. So this card, practically speaking, it's telling us, be bold in your vision, step forward in your vision. Don't wait for things to happen. This is now an invitation to step forward. The path is not always paved for you. Sometimes you have to set it out, you have to forge it, you have to create it, and you have to take steps. So Kimmy says, good evening. How are you? Welcome, Kimmy. Great to have Kimmy on the show. Sorry, I already did that. I thought you said something else. So don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. So stop waiting. Sometimes you just have to be the leader that you were hoping it would come to you. I think we always subconsciously, it's kind of in the code of the earth that we were waiting for the leader. This is saying stop waiting, step up. And that is the shift that's happening collectively, is that we are we're not waiting for permission anymore. We're giving up on that. We're saying now it's the time. Every morning, wake up and bring all systems online. Bring every part of you into waking conscious awareness. Bring yourself on. Switch it all on. And that's how we're going to make a new earth. It's not by waiting. It's by forging ahead. It's not by waiting for a leader. It's by leading ourselves forward. So we each have a leader within us, maybe hiding away, maybe deeper than the recesses of our mind. But this is encouraging everyone to share their voice, share their unique voice, share what they're passionate about. And there's no one on earth quite like you. We all have a unique combination of gifts, skills, and life experience. And it doesn't help to look to those who have come before. It's important to be original, to do it for you, gift it to yourself. Be the leader that you have always been waiting for. So that is the practical message. Please do like and share the show and write some comments. If you would like a reading, just put your name in the comments, put your Marianne as well. That was really helpful. We were talking about sleep hygiene, which is a good topic. If you do have insights about sleep hygiene, that can be the topic of the day. Mastering sleep, allowing yourself to deeply, deeply relax. Because that's really what it is about, deep relaxation. I have something I take called sleep. And that helps me. So it can also be that we can get some support through botanicals, through herbal medicine, through nutrients. This has magnesium, valerian, hops, china root, licorice, and I don't know what that is, Anamarina asphodelitos, something like that. Hard to read, but the main ingredients, I mean, there's a bit of magnesium, but the main ingredient is valerian. Everyone's heard of magnesium that helps one to relax, and it's one of these nutrients that the body needs in so many different ways. I've had enough reincarnations where being the leader wasn't the best idea. Second in charge was just fine with me. So that's really interesting, Marianne. Let me know more. I'm curious to find out more. It seems like you remember your past reincarnations. What do you remember of them? If you are comfortable to share, what do you remember? But that was a lesson coming through. Sometimes be less number one. But being a leader is not, it's this card was saying be a leader in your own life. It wasn't really saying go and be the sort of external world leader. It's more be the leader, forge your path, forge your own path. So it's leadership within your own life. So that was the point of the card, not sort of an external leader. All right. But I hear you. That is relevant. So leadership is not about a political leadership. There's many types of leadership. There's leadership within relationships, family life, and within one's own life. So it can just be like painting what you see behind me. That is leadership because it's an original painting. It's showing leadership to do something that I was coming to me intuitively. That's leadership. Leadership is stepping up and doing things to express oneself in the world. That is leadership. Doing this show is leadership. It's stepping up, coming alive, putting myself out there, stepping forward. So the leadership is in your own individual life. It's not talking about sort of political leadership, Marianne. So do share, Marianne, about your past incarnations. That could be an interesting could go take us down an interesting route or route. The sleep hygiene was interesting, but we didn't get much in the way of comments. So I know there's sometimes when stress causes issues in the middle of the night where it's agitation. So I think most people experience that at some point in their life, is some kind of stressful events, agitation, worries that start to penetrate their sleep habits, their sleep hygiene, and stress, of course, affects our quality of sleep. And how do we mitigate that? Well, exercise. We didn't mention exercise. Is Marianne? You didn't mention exercise. I find, the truth is, if you did a lot of physical exercise or even physical work, your body would be so tired that you would sleep much better. So also physical exercise is part of it. Most people don't consider their lighting. The darker it gets outside, you dim the house lights. Being a pirate in the carrier, where being caught meant death. April 1745, Scotland, facing the Hessian. That's really interesting, Marianne. Most people don't consider their lighting. Yeah, this is what I find as well. People like go to the bathroom, turn on the light, just keep the light off. You don't need that. Keep lights off. Stop turning on lights. Go easy on the lights. Not only is it not good for the earth, for the planet, but it's just, what do we need all this stimulation and energy for? Because light is energy, of course. So go easy on the light. I would really encourage you. What I have myself is it's like a very dim light in the bathroom. So it's not pitch black at night. So if I do need to find the bathroom, there's a dim light so I can find it. Other than that, all lights are off. Digital devices are off. And what I would really recommend is the same. Go easy with the lights. It's tricky with hotels. Often they're designed in a very unfriendly way with lots and lots of lights, and you're like, don't you understand that sleep requires darkness? I don't get it. But anyways, Marianne says, being a pirate in the Caribbean, being a pirate in the Caribbean, or I always say that differently. Caribbean. Being caught meant death. Being caught meant death. Yeah, well, that's pretty adventurous, Marianne. So you were a pirate, and you remember being a pirate and traveling around the Caribbean, traveling around the Caribbean, and that's a lot of intensity being a pirate. And then you've got a specific date, April 1745. April 1745. So that's amazing you can remember that. It's amazing. So where were you in April? Oh, Scotland, sorry. There we go. Scotland in 1745. How extraordinary. So there was 45. I'm just did a Google search on 1745. So what happened in 1745? I think there was some kind of internal conflict, Britain versus Scotland, and I don't know what the. I'm just trying to get what you wrote. The Hessian. I don't know what the Hessian is, Marianne. What is the Hessian? So 1745 Scotland. Why specifically 1745? And Hessian troops. Okay. Regarding Hessians in Scotland. Okay, this is learning some history here, Marianne. So thank you for sharing this. That's extraordinary that you remember that. So were you part of the Hessians? That was Hessian hussars and British dragoons moved towards the pass of Killiecrankie to engage Jacobite forces, causing them to withdraw towards Badenoch. Well, this Scotland history is really interesting. And I'm just based on the historical context of the Jacobite Rising of 1745 to 1746, while the initial rising began in summer of 1745, the major engagement involving Hessian troops in Scotland occurred in spring 1746, often referred to in the context of the 45 Rebellion, which concluded in April 1746. And Marianne says, I coordinated the battle plan for Colonel Anne. Colonel Anne. So you were very involved in Scotland. Anne McIntosh, often called Colonel Anne, was a prominent Scottish Jacobite leader during the 1745 uprising. Daughter of the chief of Clan Farquharson, she married Angus McIntosh, chief of Clan McIntosh, but defied him to support the Jacobite cause. So while some Hessian troops were involved in the conflict in Scotland, there's no direct link indicated in the search results between Colonel Anne and Hessian forces. She was a leader of Scottish Highland clansmen. So Anne is often called Colonel Anne, La Belle Rebel. Wow. Isn't that cool? Isn't that interesting? So, Marianne, you said you coordinated the battle plan for Colonel Anne. She was only 19 and her husband was away. Anne McIntosh. Colonel Anne. So, Colonel Anne McIntosh. And I just pasted that below if anyone's interested to read it. That is something really quite unique historically and amazing that you can remember those details. She was only 19 and her husband was away. So you were involved with Colonel Anne, La Belle Rebel. And so you weren't Colonel Anne. I thought for a moment that you maybe were Colonel Anne. So you're connected very much to Scotland, I take it, and to the high seas. So there's a lot of seas surrounding Scotland and your background in the Caribbean. All right, so let's get back on track to the topic at hand. We were talking about sleep. If anyone would like a reading, let me know in the comments section. And any other topics that you are curious about that you would like me to discuss. I think it would be interesting to talk about the new earth. That would be an interesting topic. The spiritual ascension codes, which is about activating our dormant DNA, clearing emotional blockages, and aligning with higher frequency. So what is the new earth? Eckhart Tolle, he wrote this book, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, which I had back in 20 years ago. It goes back 20 years ago. And that was very much about shifting the world forward, both personally and globally, and moving beyond ego-based consciousness. Very much similar to his book, The New Earth, but this was more about application And this idea of the consciousness evolution, which sometimes has been sort of hacked or misused, and can be a type of spiritual bypassing or not dealing with everyday realities. So that's also something to take note of and be aware of. Definitely, just seeing that something happened. Yeah. My screen just froze for an instant. So we're still on. Yeah. So the New Earth, that was also Oprah was promoting this idea as well, and giving Eckhart Tolle a lot of space and time on her show. So that also expanded this idea. It's almost a biblical idea sourced in the Bible as well, in terms of the Christ bringing the original purpose of God into creation, the fulfillment of the biblical promise. So bringing us home to heaven on earth. That's also an idea of the new earth in the Bible. For I will create a new heaven and a new earth. Isaiah 65:17. God will make a new earth out of the ashes of the old earth. The new earth will be our eternal home, the way God intended it from the beginning. So there is a biblical prophecy about this new earth. And Eckhart Tolle was focused more on the transcending or shifting away from egoic consciousness. And he sees a lot of what we see economically as I would say, the ego gone awry, the ego unbounded, the ego hoarding, or a whole taking advantage of people. So there's so much of that in the corporate world, in the political world, in the power and control, people with a lot of power using that to subordinate people, enslave people, keep them down. And this is an age where information is starting to come out. We're seeing that a lot of the politicians, or whoever we revered, people revered Hollywood actors for some reason, God knows why, put them on a pedestal, and they're human beings. And I like I like a film. I like entertainment. That's there's aspects there that can be very inspiring. But if you are playing an actor in a role, like, in a way, we're all playing actors in a role. We're dancers in the theater of life, dancing on the stage of life, as William Shakespeare wrote, whoever that was. If that was a person, I don't know. I think it was a school, personally, it's like a theater school. So we are dancers on the stage, and an actor on a screen is playing a role. They're not God. And it's also something shifting. People are seeing through that and realizing that's just a human being. We don't need to put them on a pedestal or make them into something they're not. We are all human beings. There's not one that's over the others and better than the rest of us. So this is a time where these ideas are coming out, where people are realizing a lot of the media is controlled, manipulated. It's not revealing the truth of life. It's not helping people. It's distracting people. So this is what this new earth energy is reminding us about. So please do like and share the show. It's gone very quiet in the comments section. Are you still there, Marianne? Marianne says, sounds like something out of Revelations. After people are sorted to the 2 levels of hell and 1 heaven. Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of new age ideas have been talking about the new earth. It's in fable, it's in fiction, it's in theology. there's a lot of these ideas, but I see it more as something kind of practical, just an earth that is more open, more purified, more not perfect, but being perfected, being purified, being uncursed, cleansed, removing the evil players, the manipulation, and expanding consciousness. So that's how I see it, an expansion of consciousness. Essentially, love and compassion being in the mainstream, being expressed in the mainstream, being held in people's physical bodies and if physical realities, if their homes, holding that energy, holding that vibration. We've seen the monks walking for peace, which is a powerful step. And that's leadership. We're talking about leadership. So going out into the world and expressing this idea of we are the peace we've been hoping for, we are the peace we've been wishing for. We are going to manifest the peace codes, the peace energy, the peace vibration, and help to uplift all of humanity. So beautiful, inspiring action of the peace monks. And I love that there's a little dog that is going on the peace walk. So maybe in a small way in your own life, you could go on a peace walk. Maybe I'll go on a peace walk today. It does look like it's going to rain here in Australia. So Marianne, thank you so much for sharing. Because it's quiet and nobody's asked for readings, I'm probably going to end the show a little bit early unless there are unless it's engagements that people want asking questions. Did you have any ideas about the new earth, the meaning of the new earth, if it means something for you or not? If it's something, people sometimes are critical of new age thinking because it can be a bit fanciful or a bit like too good to be true. But I feel like don't throw out the baby with the bath water. I feel like there is a lot of good in the new age perspectives, and it's just that with everything, discernment is important. And we were talking about ego, and we did see with some of these teachers that they were overwhelmed or overcome by their ego, and often it's hard to be the teaching, to embody the teaching, and people who were teaching something but in their own personal life not embodying that. It was just talk and not action. So I feel like this is a time to step up. Their lead monk got pneumonia and Aloka is whining over not being able to walk. So a lot going on. I didn't hear about that. Aloka is whining over not being able to walk. So the challenge of this world, in Buddhism, they call it dukkha. And I feel like sometimes all of us want to shift our world forward in a magical way, magical reality, magical thinking. And there were lots of beautiful books about this magical way. I know magical realism. 100 Years of Solitude, that was one book I remember. Magical realism. So it's a real world guided by magic and fantasy. So I feel like we all have that to a certain extent, magical thinking, and I think that's also can be really helpful to have that. So hold on to the magic. Can I get guidance on the rest of the month? So we're going to pick a card for you, Marianne. Let's have a look into the cards. It looks like it is going to rain. So I'm just looking out, and it's just started to rain. So we're just gonna shuffle these cards, bring forth the vibration. Marianne. Okay. All right. So take time to appreciate the things that you have, and then start to bring out the vision. What is my vision? What is my purpose? What is holding me back? What would I like to bring into my life? So there's a bit of both things, a bit of centering, a bit of balancing, a bit of moving forward with your visions, a bit of clearing the past debris, the past energy, the sort of detritus of perhaps 2025, these energies that were blocked. It's a bit of a middle ground this month, Marianne, a little bit opening, a little bit closing, a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little going around in circles a little bit. So really focus your energy, harness your energy, take time to appreciate the good things, and also take time to plan ahead, to start to vision things. It feels like there's a little blockage in your vision. So if you can go outside, and I think I always encourage you going into a forest or go, but I see the importance of connecting to the sky, and this would help if you could see the stars. So go somewhere where you can see the stars. That's telling me that is going to activate you and bring in the transmission, shift things forward in your physical body, your physical being. So that's going to help shift things forward. Just another card. Let's just shuffle these cards. So it's almost like seeing the perspective, seeing the context, giving yourself some movement. There needs to be movement in this month, so it's going to help. It doesn't always have to be physical movement. You got to start to move your thoughts beyond this, what's in front of you. There's some kind of machinations around you and the people so just keep your distance a bit. Trust your intuition. If there is something that seems off, then follow that, because I'm a little bit of a warning around you in terms of other people and their intentions. So be a little bit, be discerning with other people in your engagement with them. And that is your monthly reading, Marianne. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the stream, come back to you next week live. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Sending you lots and lots of love from a little bit of a rainy day in Australia. So remember to hold the energy, hold that within, hold the vibration within, of love and compassion. Thank you, Stu in Florida. Great to see Stu. And lots of love to you, Stu, and see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone.